Love is wide as the sea. It extends beyond all space and time. You're just what I was dreaming of. I'm so filled with a crazy love. Love, crazy love. Crazy, plain old crazy love. Magical, unexplainable, insanely delicious love. It's just plain old crazy love. Love is high as a mountain. It overshadows all bad memories. We fit together like a hand in glove. We're so thrilled with this crazy love. Our love will last forever. It's way too good to ever lose.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. As y'all can see, we've already started this party ride here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That is from one of the Tres Divas, Miss Lorena Morrow, Crazy Love. Welcome you guys to Jazzabrations Live on this
Yes,
Sunday
thank
afternoon, the first Sunday of July here at Morris Media Studios. Thank you, LaRon, right up on the top for rocking that song for us. We're getting into the beat with Our Crazy Love. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to Jazzabrations Live.
Thank
It's
you.
great to be here. It's wonderful.
We got a lot to talk about.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got a lot to get to in music-wise. And so they're bringing the romance and passion of their Latin heritage. Tres Divas, Lorena Morrow, Jackie Gibson, and Maita Dinos.
Hello.
They perform music that they grew up with that reminds them of family and cherished memories, as well as contemporary Latin jazz favorites. Prepare yourselves to be energized, excited, moved, and uplifted. Be a part of this journey with us. As always, if you'd like to call in and say hello to us, the number is 323-293-3375. We will welcome your calls as you say hello to us here on this warm Sunday. So, ladies, we're going to jump right into it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yes, I have several questions. I'm going to start, always go to my left, and we'll just go that way, and then we'll keep going. And then we're going to jump in with music in between, let our listeners hear all about you and how. Now, tell me this. What does the term diva mean to you?
To me, I don't think of diva as in the more traditional sense as somebody who's stuck up and thinks she's better than anybody else. I think it's somebody who's sophisticated, who's passionate about her work, who has a lot of heart and soul.
Okay.
Can I interject a little something?
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's true. And recently I asked Siri what she thought diva meant. And Siri said, oh, it's an opera singer. And then it was like, oh, it's a self-important person who, blah, blah, blah. And, it's usually that sort of thing where, oh, you're just a diva. But it's interesting to know that, the three of us are mature women. And we've all dug in deep and found what's unique about each one of us. And that's what we're sharing.
Right.
Yes. And that's what I was going to say. Once Jackie tell us, then we're going to put it all together and tell us why we got Tres Divas.
Well, it's been wonderful being able to work with these two ladies here. Each of us have such individual styles, and we have so much heart in each of what we're representing. So it's really great to see what we've been able to put together, the three of us.
Awesome. And that brings us to the name of the group.
Tres
Divas.
And here we have it, you guys. Tres Divas. Lorena Morrow, Jackie Gibson, and Maita Dinos there on the end, bringing us all back into. So I'm excited because we got lots of music to get to. And see, I got to stop talking with my hands because, on that camera over there, as I turn, you guys can always look down at your camera, and so that way we're looking out at the audience. You don't necessarily have to look directly at me as I'm speaking.
Okay.
But that's a good thing because our listeners, Jazzabrations Live is a brand that has grown in its size as a matter of fact, we will be 1 year old next month.
Oh my
Congratulations.
August the 20th.
Happy
Yay.
birthday.
Yes,
Happy
we
birthday,
will
right.
made it till
All right.
1 year. So I'm so excited. But let's tell me a little bit about each of you. Lorena, which Lorena I've honored in our Jazzabrations series as as a matter of fact, in the month of July.
Yeah.
Has it been 3 years or 2 years?
It was
2016 or 15?
It was 15.
Wow.
It'll be 3 years this July. I shut down LACMA when I honored them. We did it out at LACMA.
I remember.
LACMA called me and told me, "Will you stop? Will you stop advertising? Will you stop? People are calling. People are calling us off the chain." It was Lorena. It was Gloria Hendry. It was Kathy Siegel Garcia.
Yes.
It was Jean Shy. It was Sylvia Boyd, and it was Jessica Taylor.
Well, no wonder.
Yeah.
My God, they said, "Lady, we will pay you to stop and take down all the advertising." I said, "Just
And you
tell them
said
to
how much?
just tell them to call me." I would love to hear all that traffic coming in. But we had such a great time at honoring them. It was my actual birthday weekend when I honored them. And Dwight Treble was the performer.
Oh.
So we tore it up that day, to say the least. But it was such a pleasure honoring you and bringing you into the fold of the Living Legend Foundation, which is the organization that honors jazz and blues legends. And to date, we've honored over 140.
Wow.
We just honored Shep Shepherd and Miss Lily Thomas last month for June being African American Music Appreciation Month. So it's been my joy and my pleasure to continue to do this work.
Well, you've honored somebody that I care very much about, and that's Mr. Howlett Smith.
Yes, I was just thinking about how he's doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. Okay, great. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you for that confirmation. But Miss Lorena Morrow, we've had you at our Jazzabrations series. I did a 1 year series at my church last year where I brought back many of the legends that we've honored, and they played every month as we honored new legends. And so just tell us a little bit how this experience has been for you.
First of all, thank you very much for that acknowledgement. I feel very privileged to be one of the legends. I think it gave me some recognition in the community, and it also opened my eyes to a lot of the people that I've become a member of this group with, because even though I may have known their names, I really wasn't aware of everything that they've done. So, I mean, like Jessica Taylor, she was with the Platters. And I've become very good friends with many of these people, and I so cherish that. I really do.
Well, thank you. And that's what it was about originally when we started. There were so many of these legendary artists who live here in LA alone and didn't know that each other were still here.
Wow.
And was still right here. So we would bring these communities together, and they would be like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in 40 years. You live here? Where you been? What are you doing?"
That's great.
And so it became our celebrations are so special.
Cohesive.
Yes, they're so special, and they're small. We don't try to do big, large numbers. We just do a small gathering of friends and close family members to celebrate them.
And
And
it
so,
makes people know that they haven't been forgotten about, too.
correct,
And that people treasure what they've done.
correct.
Because it's a long, hard road in this business.
Yes, and when I started, we had the age group way up there, 70. And then they started dying. Buddy Collette, Michael White, Art Hillary, Ellie Shavers. And then I was like, oh my God, I got to lower this number, because by the time I start doing the work, I'm not going to have anybody to honor. So we lowered it to the simple thing. If you've been doing this work for 25 years or more, that's enough to be honored and celebrated. And so we just put the age down and said, we don't care about no number. We care about how long, the longevity that you've been doing this work in the business. And I was only doing jazz at the time. And then all the blues legends was like, what about us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Blues
What are you
is
doing?
the foundation
Oh, yeah.
of jazz.
And that's what I learned, coming into it. You can't have
You can't
jazz
have one
without
without the
blues.
other.
And
Yeah.
so I incorporated and started honoring jazz and blues legends. And it doesn't matter if it's Latin jazz, Afro jazz, all kinds of jazz and blues that we started bringing into the fold.
It's all the same family.
Yes.
All the same family.
And so that made the work so much easier. And as I continue to do this work, I will have about 3 more years, and then I'm retiring from doing the work because I'll be 60. Like, you know, I want to grow gracefully like everybody else. I know I don't look 60. But I want to be able to grow gracefully.
What do you mean by I don't look 60? I hope you mean that you look a lot younger.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
So that's the part of the work that I enjoy doing so much. And so it's my honor and my pleasure to have you three ladies here on the show to be able to talk about the work that you do in the jazz community. Our Uber driver, Gloria, if you're out there, she said she was going to call in. She's a Latino driver, and I told her about it, and I pulled up your song and played it for her.
Oh,
she was like, get out of here, get out of here. I was like, yes. I said, they're coming in the studio, and then she's like, you got to bring us to... I said,
Gloria,
yes,
call
Gloria.
us. Call
And
us.
I gave her the card and the number, so she may call in. But anyone who wants to call in and talk to us, of course, the number is always 323-293-3375. So with that, we're going to go ahead and go into our first number. Crazy Love was Lorena Morrow's track. And so we're going to go into maybe a Jackie video that we have, or MP3 that we may have here. And so we're going to just play the song, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it to our audience while they get on the phone and start dialing in.
Okay.
Come on back, y'all, to Jazzabrations Live. I'm your host, Linda Morgan. We'll be right back.
Pensaba que fui mi destino, tener obscuro mi camino. Gracias por darme la luz de tu alma y más de lo que esperé. Te miré, pero nunca te vi. Siempre esperaban lo peor de mí. Tu amor despertó una voz en mi alma que oí y me dice así: escucha la voz del corazón. No la esperaba así. Escucha tu del corazón, dime qué dice de mí. Todos tenemos las heridas de las amargas despedidas. Tu luz me curó las heridas que años sentí, como vela prendí. Amor no busco como antes, contigo tengo 1000 amantes. Si me quieres a mí como te quiero a ti, va a ir bien. Si escucha la voz, escucha la voz del corazón. No la esperaba así. Escucha tu voz del corazón. Dime qué dice de mí.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. That sounds so sexy. That is Voice of the Heart
Voz del Corazón.
by Miss Jackie Gibson right here. That is a sexy song,
Thank
Miss
you.
Jackie.
Thank you.
Now, y'all got to tell me, this group is so special.
Yes.
What made you guys come together as a group?
Well, initially, Jackie and I had done Jazz versus Cancer at Catalina's, and then I really loved Jackie's voice, and my mom passed away in 2016. and I couldn't stand to hear Spanish music without having a major meltdown. So I said, I really have to find a way to work through this and to honor the music that I grew up with and honor the music that reminds me of her. So I asked Jackie, I said, would you like to maybe start a group? We'll call it Dos Divas. And she said, yes, of course.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And then I heard Maida do a show. It was shortly after that. And I said, let's add Maida. And I said, maybe she won't want to do it. I asked her, and she said, yes. So that's how it
I'm
all
not going to
came
want to
about.
do it.
That's how it all came about. And I feel so grateful because they share the passion of their heritage, and they have a love for this music just like I do. It was wonderful. We've formed a sisterhood, and I think the three of us get along really well, and it's a beautiful thing.
Well, you can definitely tell it in your chemistry. So this is a wonderful thing. I can't wait to see you guys all on stage. And I know we got an upcoming show that we need to talk about.
Yes.
And that's going to be July the 11th at Vitello's.
Yes.
Right, exactly. Yes.
We need you to call in and make your reservations because it's more at the door if you don't make your reservations in advance.
$10 more
That's
at the
right,
door.
yeah.
Yes, $10 more at the door. So call Vitello's, Vitelleos.
No, just
Yes.
Vittello.
S.
S.
Yes.
Right.
Vitello's, and make those reservations because you're going to want to see this amazing show. And it's
Thank you,
July the
Linda.
11th.
Thank
Right.
you.
What day is July 11th? Saturday.
Wednesday.
It's a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, July the 11th, you don't want to miss it. I'm going to just be coming back, so I think I'm going to catch it.
Oh, that'd be
hope
great.
so.
Good.
Yes.
So, that'd be
Good.
I have to
wonderful.
add that we have the most amazing musicians.
Absolutely. Tell us who's on there with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Rollins on piano,
Another one of our jazz legends we've honored.
Bill
right.
Marcus on bass,
Uh-huh.
Bobby Rodriguez on trumpet, another jazz legend.
Doctor.
Yes.
The doctor.
David Anderson on drums, and Dori Amarillo on guitar,
On guitar.
and Richie Gallete Garcia on percussion.
Wow, you guys got a full court
yeah.
of
We have a sextet,
sextet.
which means it's a very sexy,
Sexy show. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to be in the house that Wednesday. What made you guys want to do it on a Wednesday versus any other day of the week? Wednesdays are turning out to be the hot day of the week for jazz.
Because nobody has to worry about, is it a Thursday? I've already got, I have tickets for the Thursday at what? Or Saturday, I'm busy on Saturday. Sunday would have been fine. But Wednesday
Is the middle of the
is
week.
the middle of the
Exactly.
week. And most
Exactly.
people are like twiddling their thumbs wondering what to do.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So this is going to be the perfect timing. Again, you guys, Wednesdays at Vitello's. Okay, well, it looks like we have someone on the call with us. Welcome to the show. This is Linda, your host for Jazzabrations Line. Who's on the line?
Hi, this is Manny Valentine, the voice from the heart.
Hi, Manny. I got a Facebook friend request from you.
Oh, he's a great singer. He's a great singer.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you so much. I just called to congratulate the ladies and, just give my regards to a successful show coming up on the 11th.
Thank you.
Thank
We're
you,
working
Manny.
to- No, I appreciate it.
You'll
Thank you
be
for the
there, right,
invitation.
Manny?
Are you coming, Manny?
I'm working on my agenda, but yes, I look positive.
The
Yes.
answer is
good.
yes.
Good.
Say yes.
Good. We'd love
Manny.
to see you there. Yes. Love you to
It's
see the
going to
show.
be great. It's going to be
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you, Manny. Thanks for calling.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Manny. And I did accept your friend request.
Absolutely, Linda, and I appreciate it. Maybe we'll look into doing something together later.
Absolutely. Thank you again for calling us.
And the three divas, much love and gratitude, and I hope you all have a successful night.
Absolutely.
Manny.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias.
Okay, you guys got it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. See, so we never know who's listening. We never know who's going to call in.
It's
but
wonderful.
I got to pay more attention so that my engineer don't have to get up off that board. So, honey, some kind of way, if I'm looking over here, just let me know. All right.
White flags or something.
Something. So let's talk a little bit about your background. Let's tell the audience about you individually. Where did you grow up? Are you from LA? Or you came here? How long you been here?
Well, I was born in Puerto Rico. I came here when I was 3. Went back when I was 6. Went to Spain when I was 9. At 8, I went to Greece because my father's
Wow.
Greek, and Turkey, and finally came back to New York in the 9th grade, however old I was then. And eventually I made it to Los Angeles because everybody
Comes
finds
here.
their way to San Jose or Los Angeles or wherever it is. Yeah, and so I've been here for over 30 years.
Oh, great. And then you, Jackie?
Well, I was born in Hollywood myself.
Oh.
Actually, yeah. Born and raised here in Hollywood. And my mother, who was from Oaxaca, Mexico, was doing her internship at Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital way back when. And that's where she met my father as well. And so they settled in the area right there, and she opened up a practice in East LA. And that was pretty much our first home on a second story of a brick building on Whittier in Indiana. And there it was a melting pot of nationalities. There was German,
Whittier.
Russian, Japanese, everything. It was amazing. And when my mom had to work and my dad had to drive her to go deliver a baby or something like that, I'd be dropped off with all these different families. And I had a chance to be a part of each family and being a little girl and seeing how they interacted and how they worked and the foods and the customs. And it was great. Even the religions, too. I went to Russian Orthodox Church, Catholic Church, Dutch Orthodox Church, all these different religions.
And it was a wonderful thing, right?
I loved
mixing
it.
with all
Oh
those
my
people.
God. And I'm still friends with some of them today. It's really, really kind of neat,
Yes.
being able to still associate with family, because family is the most important thing of all.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And that's one of the main things that I get misty about too right now.
No, don't start.
I know I'm starting.
You know better than to start me,
I
Jackie.
start getting,
Okay, ladies.
I have to
well,
tell them
we're
jokes
both
so that they
let's-
stop.
I know it, so they can stop crying right at the moment,
Always.
right?
So
Me
emotional
too.
because
I
to
start
make 'em laugh.
laughing. I start
That's
laughing.
what she does. She'll look at the two of us sometimes and say,
we start talking about our families and everything.
Well, that's the beauty of it.
Oh my God, yeah. In 1994, my mother passed away. I knew I had to keep tradition going, and so I really was very interested in Day of the Dead. And from then on, I began doing altars and doing research. And
Do you know we do an
participating.
event at the City Club around that?
Oh, it is.
We
it's
build
wonderful.
altars.
That's what we did. We've done it.
It's an
on
actual.
Barron Street.
It's an actual committee
It's
that I'm on at
beautiful.
the City Club.
It's
So the
beautiful.
next one, I'm gonna make sure that you're there.
So great because it keeps
You
the
too.
tradition. It keeps,
Yes.
It keeps family alive, and you don't forget your ancestors, and we cannot forget our families, our ancestors. We just can't forget.
Oh, my
that.
God, I cannot-
And
you
treat
don't-
our young ones. We have to learn about their families and respect them and know the stories because
We're gonna have some legendary people up at the City Club doing the Dead Diablo. We call it Diablo. Day of the.
Dia de los Muertos.
Yes.
Dia de los Muertos. Yes.
Yes.
it's
Oh my
wonderful.
God, this is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna tell you guys when
please
it
do.
happens.
that's interesting.
It's a certain time of the year, and we do it. It's around
November
the
2nd.
November.
It's
exactly.
Dia de los Muertos is
Wow.
November 2nd.
We
So
could
we-
sing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We could sing.
We could do it.
Let's make it in a.
Oh,
Oh
my
my God, let's make it a concert.
Okay. So
Elena,
Done.
this is
Put it on the
this is an
calendar.
event around. Tell me.
November 2nd.
No, tell me the Day of the Dead. Say
Dia de
it.
los Muertos.
Yes.
Dia de los Muertos.
I'm gonna tell Elena right now. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do our altars, because I didn't want to do it because I was just joining, and I was like, "Oh, this is creepy. What is this?"
Oh
but
no! When you
but
learn,
see-
and you learn about the
no, because each person made their own little personal
Yes.
altar. They had
Yes.
pictures.
Yes.
Narek. I'm calling you Narek. Look at this video. I'm gonna text you and tell you about it. He's our chair of our social committee. So Narek, just know that in
Okay.
November we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do a concert with Tres Divas. Okay, that's coming up.
because of
Done.
the
That's
importance
great.
of your family and your children remembering their ancestors. The one time that I did an altar at Olvera Street with my daughters, they knew about their grandmother being a doctor in East LA and how well loved she was in the community. But when we built that altar, people came up to them and said, "Oh, la doctora! Oh, she delivered my mother's baby. She delivered my kid. Oh, she took care of my brother's gunshot wound." All these people came up and talked to my daughters about their grandmother and things they never knew and how well loved she was.
And we display these altars at the City Club
Yes.
after they're made, so people
Wow.
go up to them and they
It's
look
beautiful.
at it.
It's
so,
beautiful.
oh my God, thank you guys.
Yeah.
I'm glad this is on recording because I can look back and I can say, yes, we're going to plan this and we're going to do it then.
We're glad to.
Well, now you have something
Pleasure.
to celebrate that.
But and that's how everything happens with me organically.
Yeah.
I somebody give me an idea and I just take it and run and make it happen. Because talk is one thing, but action is the thing that makes the engine grow. So we have now gotten our second project right out of this. So let me tell you, what kind of singing have you guys done prior to Tres Divas? What did you sing? What did you individually?
I think I started out singing when I was maybe 6 years old. I used to sing for my neighbors. And I would sing the latest songs like by the Skyliners and Frankie Avalon and Bobby Rydell.
Oh, yeah.
And only thing is I had to be behind the door in the dark on a stool. And so I've since grown out of that. I actually like the limelight now.
Oh, yes, you do. Yes.
She is a diva.
But then after that, I started getting into like Linda Ronstadt, Barbra Streisand, and I've really kind of sung a little bit of everything all along. Broadway, jazz, blues, the American Songbook, and now Latin music, and I really love singing all of it. I don't like to put myself in one category.
And that's a good thing because you don't have to box yourself in and
Right.
just only do
That's
one
right.
thing. What about you, Maya? What did you sing prior to?
God. Well, I started with my grandmother in Puerto Rico because we used to go by car from my house to her house, and my house was in Santurce, which is right by the ocean, and her house was up in the mountains, which was a very windy road, and I suffered from car sickness. And so she figured, well, if I distract her, maybe she won't throw up all over me.
So she sang.
So she would teach me songs. She would teach me songs, and she was very strict about how I should, emote. Even as a 5-year-old or 4, however old I was, I had to emote and I had to say the right thing, and I loved it. And then as soon as we got to my cousin's house, then all of us would sing, and we would sing things from Sound of Music and all those musicals that were really popular then, and it goes back, and I know I'm dating
Right.
myself, but it doesn't matter because these things are they're so
Right.
vital. The it's like you said, family. It's the trickle down and the spreading out, and then as a teenager, I sang in musicals and operettas. And it isn't until recently when I went to the world stage one night about 6 years ago. And my husband and I used to go to a lot of the concerts, in the old stage. And instead of a concert, it was Mr. Howlett Smith's recital. Yes, it was, the workshop singers were singing. And it was such a lovely environment. And everybody was so supportive. And the singers were wonderful, all levels. And he said, "You should do that." And I said, "What?"
Your husband said that?
Yes, my husband
great.
said, "You should do that."
Oh, cool.
And I said, "Don't be ridiculous." He goes, No, go. So a couple of weeks later, I went just to watch. And then the second week, I went again just to watch. And one of your honorees, Ann Mack, turned around and she said, "Girl, when are you going to go up there and sing?" I said, "Sometime." And she said, no, you have to go. I said, "Why?" She says, "Because if you don't, you will be so sorry that you missed this opportunity. And everybody here has had an opportunity to be the first time, and they know how it feels, and we all love everybody and will support
you.
So the following week, I brought something, and it was great because, Mr. Smith knows everything. And he's blind, so he doesn't need anything to read. He just pulls it out of his head, his gigantic Rolodex of songs, and he knows how to transpose and everything. So it was wonderful, and he took my hand and he said, "Come back." And then after that, I started, I went religiously every week on Tuesdays, and then I started working with him privately, and we worked together for at least 4 years. Every Tuesday,
Wow.
I would go to his place and have a lesson, and then I would take him to the world stage and bring him back. So,
Oh, that is an awesome story about
great.
our own Mr.
those are
Howard
the
Smith.
two people, my grandmother and Mr. Howard Smith. They're both very strict, by the way.
Oh, yes. He is. When I honored him, it was like one of the most amazing things to be able, for me, because he was just like very straight, and I had to follow everything.
It has to be this way.
Yes. But it was my honor to include him as well into the Living Legend
Yes.
ranks. And so with that, we're going to go into your song,
Volver, volver.
Volver, Volver, that we
this-
have on video.
This is a song that you sing when you're very, very drunk.
Volver, Volver,
Yes.
Volver, Volver.
And you start reminiscing about the guy you left behind and wondering if maybe you shouldn't have broken up.
With them.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
that's
we'll
what
be
this is
right
about.
back on Jazzabrations Live as we watch Volver, Volver by Maito Dinos.
Otra vez. Este amor apasionado está todo alborotado por volver. Voy camino a la locura y aunque todo me tortura, yo sé querer. Nos dejamos hace tiempo, pero me llegó el momento de volver. Tú tenías mucha razón, le hago caso al corazón y me muero por volver. Y volver, volver, volver a tus brazos otra vez. Yo llegaré hasta donde estés. Yo sé perder, yo sé querer. Quiero volver, volver, volver.
One more musician on that stage.
Yes, yes, yes. That
gonna
is Volver, Volver by Maitos. Welcome
It
back.
means
That-
to go back, to come back. Come back. I want to go back to you.
Please come back to us. Anyway,
Love it.
that is great.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Well, we're going to get some few more interviewee questions. What do you see in the future for this group, Tres Divas? What does any one of you see in the future?
We want to be president of the United States. First time, 3 women.
We'll run the country.
What about a recording? Do you
Yes.
guys have plans to do a recording?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
We're working on
But
that
we
right
don't
now.
have the money at the moment. We're working on it.
That was something that I had tried to start out at the beginning of the year because there's lots of legends that don't have their own CD. recording. And so I was going to contract with Nolan at Shahid at his studio. Then we realized it's a lot of
money.
I need an attorney. I need this and that. And so, it's just a dream deferred right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's something I want to do, is to be able to offer that service for those legends who've never had a CD. Before they, transpired to at least Art Hillary literally had one CD. This man was an amazing composer, arranger, and producer, and he made his last CD right before, his only CD before he passed away, the work of art. And so that's what invigorated my vision of having that service.
That's
so
great. That's
Well,
wonderful.
I have one in
Really.
the works right now.
Great.
And it's going to be a work that has to do with my background, which is I'm a landscape designer. And so the theme of the album is garden. And it has everything to do with ideas that I bring to my practice as a landscape designer. I picked songs that I could talk about. It was originally a concert, and somebody at the concert said, "You need a CD, and I'm willing to pay for it."
It was a beautiful concert.
So-
It was
Wow.
absolutely exquisite. Really
That's
exquisite.
awesome.
Yeah.
And so each of you will have a CD project. Do you have a CD product coming up
I have
now?
2 CDs already. You Must Believe in Spring, which was my first CD. I recorded in 2004. And then I did an all-original CD, Mixed Emotions, a couple of years ago. And yes, I would love to do more CDs, because every day I think of more songs that I want to
yeah.
sing. I have so many lists at home of songs that I still want to perform and record. And I want to write more.
And that's the beauty of it. And if it wasn't so expensive, can you imagine how many more people would have so much more music to give to the world? But we know everything has a
Right.
cost, and in time, we will all be able to make these dreams realities.
Definitely.
As we continue down this work. So tell me this: did your families? I know you talked about your grandmother supporting you in your singing. What about you? Did you have any family members that helped you to?
Well, my father was a piano bar singer in Hollywood at the Don the Beachcomber in Villa Capri. So he had a beautiful voice. And so I would hear him singing at home and everything. And then my mother loved classical music, so I had that exposure from both
Both sides.
And I loved it. I just loved it. And I started singing when I was about 16. And I was doing the Hollywood scene, the folk rock thing. I was doing a lot of performing in Hollywood and everything with the 4-part harmony stuff. And from there, I went on.
Wait, you have to say, you were a rocker. You should see pictures of her at the time.
Now that came next. That came next. Yes, I was
my
doing original rock and roll at that time.
Oh, my
in
God.
the 80s. So that was another era. Also doing the Troubadour and the Central, which is now the Viper Room and all these places.
Oh yeah.
You
But it
looked
was
like
all-
a viper.
But I sure did. Yeah, I had the fuchsia hair. My daughter has the fuchsia hair now, but she had it too. But yeah, it was a great time. It was all original stuff. And I went to Dick Grove School of Music and had my education there and met a lot of wonderful people and a lot of introductions to different types of music, because they had a vocal program and composer program, and they'd match you up as a vocalist with a composer. And they had this giant room with just everything set up with a full orchestra that they would record to be each project. So I got to do things like commercials and jazz and country western. So it was a fantastic exposure.
I'm glad
Dick
you
Grove
have
School
us here,
of
because
Music.
now we get to know about each other, things we didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Very true,
Thank you,
very true.
Linda.
So from there, I went on to do the rock and roll, but also at Dick Grove, I was exposed to jazz, and it was wonderful. I did big band music, and I used to go with the Dick Grove band and perform at high schools to try and initiate kids to come and join the school and everything. So it was a great love.
So
for
you
me.
guys have a big background of being family oriented in your jazz world and your singing.
Definitely.
And so I can see, and then in the Latina culture, family is everything.
Yes.
And I know that in terms of just the love you guys are three sharing here about your culture and your music.
Yes.
And that's why I thought about doing something with my music that was meaningful. And I really felt, I love doing music, and I know we love doing shows, but I want to do something to give back. And that's why I founded Jazz El Corazon and started giving back and helping individuals and in our music family that were going through tough times.
Yes,
And
when
that's
is the next Jazz Del?
Well, we did Jazz versus Cancer this past August. So, Gary, one of the co-producers, had just moved to Tennessee, but we had already talked about doing it again. So we're waiting right now till he gets settled down, and then we're going to see how things go from there.
That is such a great
We did
cause,
great, yeah.
fundraiser
Yeah.
around cancer
Yeah.
and just being able to give back to the communities.
And this last show that we did, a lot of our family members wanted to give back to, for instance, City of Hope. So that's why we did it for City of Hope for the very last show we did in August. That's when we had Tierney Sutton and a lot of wonderful, great people
was a
perform
wonderful
for us.
show.
It was just beautiful. And once again, it was family oriented because we consider ourselves as being
Being
a jazz
family.
family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we support each other, we lift each other up, and that's the way it should be.
And Linda,
Absolutely.
that show was like, what, 3.5 hours long?
Oh my God, yeah.
It was nonstop,
But it was
amazing.
great. It was
I mean,
fun.
amazing.
It was a blessing.
There wasn't one moment in that show where you said, "Oh God, is this going to be over?" Because it was just like
Ongoing.
wonderful, just a wonderful.
We timed
show.
it really well. We really had good time. We really did. It was great.
Oh, that's great.
It
So
was
we
a
look
blessing.
forward to that.
Yep,
Jazz
down the
Del
road.
Corazon.
Down the
It'll
road.
be come back. That's a great fundraiser, you
you.
guys. And so we're going to go into another cut. We're going to do your video now.
Yeah.
We're going to do Lorraine Amaro's video. We'll be right back. And as always, you can always call us, you guys, 323-293-3375. We'll be right back on Jazzabrations Live.
Somos un sueño imposible que busca la noche. Para olvidarse del mundo, del tiempo y de todo. Somos en nuestra quimera doliente querida, dos hojas que el viento junto en el otoño. Ahí somos dos seres en uno que amando se mueren. Para guardar en silencio lo mucho que quieren. Pero que importa la vida con esta separación. Somos dos gotas de llanto en una canción. Nada más, eso somos. Nada más. You and I, we were like an impossible dream. Like two leaves scattered in the autumn wind, one soul within the other, two teardrops within a song. It's all we were, nothing more. vida con esta separación. Somos dos gotas de llanto en una canción. Nada más, eso somos.
That was Lorraine.
lady.
She tore it
That's
up.
the girl.
Yes, she did.
She sure
Now, there was so much passion in that song. Was you channeling your mom's spirit in there?
How did you know? How did
'cause
you
I could
know?
feel it.
Oh my God, yes. Before I sang that song, I told a story about my mom, and one time in particular, how she was really totally brokenhearted because she was engaged to somebody for 5 years, and he married somebody else while she's still wearing his ring.
Shut up. Well, you know that's how they do.
Somebody
it
at
sometimes.
work had to tell her.
Oh, God.
So I sang that song. It was hard to hold it together.
You did an amazing job.
Beautiful.
Amazing job. And so I know you guys are doing other projects besides your July the 11th date at Vitello's. Remember, you guys. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to donate 2 tickets to the next person who calls in to go to that show
Awesome.
on July
Wow.
the 11th. So our next caller, if you can make it, don't call us if you can't come. It's Wednesday, July the 11th at Vitello.
Somebody in the studio stood up.
He won't be able to make it. So. What kind of singing have you guys? We talked about that. What made? And we talked about what made you guys form the group as well. Here's a personal question to you, Maita.
Yes.
What is special for you being a part of Tres Divas?
What is special for me is the fact that for many, many, many years, I have been pursuing songs, in the jazz tradition. And this has opened the way to, again, dig into what is so ingrained that as soon as I started singing in Spanish, everybody started saying, "Oh my God, when you sing in Spanish, it's so different. It's so real." And it's like somebody's coming out, a different you is coming out. So for me, that's really important. And also being with these 2 lovely ladies and being able to share this with my mother, who is still alive. And
we've
has
adopted her mother, by the way.
We have adopted her.
She
That's
has
right.
become our den
Mama
mother.
Carmen.
and
Or she's adopted us.
Yes.
Yes.
She loves all of us.
Oh, yes.
And she is another person who is very supportive of my singing.
Oh, that's awesome. So now, Jackie, how is singing in a group different than singing solo?
Well, what's great about being in a group, you have so many textures and things you can work with. It gives you more sense of freedom of being able to try different things and experiment. Whereas if you're just by yourself, you just count on yourself and whoever you're working with, a producer, whatever, or your teacher. But this gives you, more opportunity to have more flexibility in your creativity. So it's wonderful. It's
And plus, we have the opinions of all 3 of us on things, and we may not always agree on things, but we still have that element of suggesting things. Like Maida has introduced me to singers that I hadn't heard of before.
Yes, definitely.
In fact, that's where I got that song "Somos" from Buika. And so that part is good because the 3 of us, 3 heads are better than one.
Absolutely.
absolutely, yeah.
Tres Divas.
Exactly.
Tres
Tres Divas,
Tres
y'all.
Divas.
So definitely, we have been on an amazing ride in being here and listening and hearing you sing and play. There's another song on another CD of yours that I want to hear, number 7. And so we're going to go into that song, and then we're going to come back. So hopefully you're going to call in, 323 293-3375. We'll be right back here on Jazzabrations Live.
Cuando vuelva a tu lado, no me niegues tus besos, que el amor que te he dado no podrás olvidar. No me preguntes nada, que nada de explicarte, que el beso que negaste ya no lo puedes dar. Cuando vuelva a tu lado y esté solo contigo, las cosas que te digo no repitas jamás. Por compasión, une tu labio al mío y estréchame en tus brazos y cuenta los latidos de nuestro corazón.
What a difference a day
Yes,
makes.
indeed.
Yes.
And of course,
Yes.
you know that was originally a Spanish song that was
was?
then translated into English.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Did you guys know that was What a Difference a Day made?
No.
That was Lorena Morrow. Yay! We have had such a ball here
Yeah.
on Jazzabrations Live. Me being your host today, Lorena Morrow being here, and Jackie Gibson, and Maita Dinos. And it's just been my pleasure. I know we still have time for someone to call in. 323-293-3375.
Don't be
And
shy.
don't be shy. It's
Call
okay.
in, you guys.
Did somebody get the tickets yet?
No, they have to call us and get the tickets. So we got a couple of more minutes. Hopefully someone else will call in. And I had asked the ladies, I'm going to put them on the spot because I had asked them to do a little acapella. They said, no,
said no.
Little harmony. No. But here they all chimed in with what a difference a day.
Whoa, what a difference a day made. Does that count?
Yes.
I did all three harmonies.
Yes. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Linda.
Being
Thank you
here
so
with
much
you
for
guys.
having me.
And as
Definitely.
always, the show is on
July 11th.
July the 11th at Vitello's on a Wednesday.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
And we want you to get there and get early and get your food so you can enjoy the show. I was talking to them about, sometimes you go to the shows when there's eating, you can't enjoy the music because there's so much clanking around and people drinking and plates. So get there early to the show because the show starts when?
At
7:30.
7:30, and I think the doors
open at 6.
See, the doors
Yeah.
open at 6.
So you don't have to scarf your food
No,
down.
you can
just so
Right.
that you can pay attention.
Enjoy your meal, a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Just
And that way you
unwind
can
and everything.
enjoy the music.
Oh, yeah.
And not be intertwined in both of them, at the same time.
Right.
And so I'm looking forward to, if no one calls in between the time now we end the show, I'm going to be there with those tickets because I was going to donate them to a caller
All
at
right.
323-293-3375 that called in and said hello to us. We see you guys all online. We can't really respond online. Okay, so here's what I'll do. Somebody, the next person who responds online, I know Dolores Scorsese, you're on there, and quite a few other people. If you could call in and tell us, or if you could post online what they said Tres Divas meant to them, the first person that posts that online, I'll give you the 2 tickets. How about that? The moment after I said this, and so I'll have to go back and watch the recording myself, and whatever comment came up after that, I will reach out to you and give you the 2 tickets. So if you didn't call us in and you
That's great.
told us
Thank
what they said, and you'd have to, that means that they'll have to go back and listen to the video themselves. They'll have to play it back.
It's worth it.
To chime in to tell us, we'll give you those 2 tickets. But as always, it has been a blast having you guys here on the show.
For us,
Pleasure being
Like I
here.
said, this will
Definitely
be
a pleasure.
this is our 11th month. Next year will be our 1-year anniversary.
Wow.
And so
Happy
maybe if you guys are
anniversary.
doing another show in August, you can come back and we'll do another show. I don't have any guests lined up. This show is a true labor of love for me to be able to do it twice a month. I do it on the first and third Sundays. I was doing it every Sunday. Then I was like, Lord.
Linda?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I'll be doing a show October 14th at Vitello's also with
Okay.
myself and a group called the Marmalade Skies Project. And they are a wonderful Latin band that does the Beatles music in a Latin vibe.
Okay.
And
So you'll have to come back the first.
Yeah.
When is it?
October 14th.
Okay, so that means you have to come back the first Sunday because the second Sunday will probably it'll be
Okay.
over.
Yeah, maybe I could have Marcus Jerichos come with me because he's the leader of that group.
Okay,
Oh, they're
great.
They really are.
So,
great.
and do you have any projects coming up as well? Any other projects?
just my CD, but no, I don't have anything performance-wise, no.
Now, where can our listeners find you guys on Facebook or Instagram? They can find you all by their names. You
All
guys
over the
look-
place.
Oh,
Yes,
Yes,
just-
we have a website, too.
Yeah, Tres Divas website.
tresdivas.bandzoogle.com.
Right.
Bandzoogle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those websites that you can
Well, you-
create
It's a
your own
wonderful website.
Yeah, it's
and,
great.
It's got
Great
music, videos.
Update information as well.
I even have a little blog. So, yes, check it out. It's fun.
Tres Divas dot band
Tresdivas.bandzoogle.
BANZOO
BAND.
BAND.
Bandzoogle.
bandzoogle.com.
Okay, you guys hear that?
And we
Look-
have our own, sorry for interrupting, but we have our own Instagram page and we have our own profile on Twitter.
Twitter.
And our
So you can follow
Facebook
them on
page, too.
all social media.
We're
Tres
everywhere.
Divas.
Estamos en todos sitios.
Todos. Todísimos.
Yes.
yes. See.
I love, yeah, I don't even know how much I love hearing this. Because my honey is from San Pedro.
Oh.
And so he grew up
Ah,
around
all right.
the Latino community. And he always likes to talk in Spanish like he was right there with them.
And we'll be looking forward to our event at the City Club.
Yes, July the 14th.
July the 14th.
Are you guys coming?
No, not that
No,
thing.
not that
the one where you said
The
we
Dia
were
de
to
los
perform.
Muertos.
Oh,
November.
November.
2nd. Yeah.
The Day of the Dead, we
Dia
call
de
it.
los
And
Muertos.
it's building the
We'll be
altar.
there the Day of the Dead.
Alive. Live. Dia de los Muertos.
Thank you guys so much for hanging with me today. But that reminds me that we're going to, as soon as I get off the line, I'm going to text my membership director at the club and let her know to give me that date whenever we do that event, that I want to make that an event for you guys.
Muchas gracias,
Muchísimas
Linda, por
gracias.
este gran placer.
Absolutely. And it's been a joy and it's been a pleasure for you guys riding with me on this Sunday here on Jazzabrations Live. Thank you, LaRon, for rocking the engineer mics for us. Thank you, Felicia. Come back. Welcome back, Mr. Morris. Come on back here in the studios. We miss you. This is Linda, your host for Jazzabrations Live. Take care.
Adiós.
Adiós, nos vemos, que te vaya bien.
Hasta
Thank you,
luego.
Linda.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Wow, that was great.